Good evening and welcome to Power and Policy. For nearly 2 centuries, the sight of a green and yellow tractor has been synonymous with American agriculture. John Deere, a company founded 185 years ago, isn't just a manufacturer. It's a cornerstone of our national identity, an emblem of the heartland's resilience and innovation. But tonight we're looking at a significant shift in this American story. The company is scaling back some of its US production, moving manufacturing operations south of the border to Mexico, a move that has not gone unnoticed by workers, farmers and politicians alike. The decision has ignited a firestorm of debate, drawing attention from the highest levels of politics. Former President Trump has already floated the idea of heavy tariffs on any equipment made in Mexico and brought back into the US, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense situation. For the families whose livelihoods depend on these factories and for the farmers who rely on Deere's machinery to feed the nation, this isn't just a business decision, it's a seismic event with far-reaching consequences that ripple through their communities and the entire agricultural economy. Tonight, we're going to get you the facts. We'll cut through the noise to explore what's really driving this decision, from economic pressures to global market dynamics. We'll examine the direct impact on American jobs and communities, the potential consequences for farmers already facing a tough economic climate, and what this all means for the future of American-made machinery. We'll delve into the numbers, hear from the people most affected, and analyze the political and economic forces at play. This is a story about more than just tractors. It's about the future of American manufacturing. John Deere, a name as American as the fields it helps cultivate, is laying off hundreds and shifting some manufacturing to Mexico. The historic Moline, Illinois plant will move cab production for certain tractors south of the border, a move that echoes recent job cuts across Iowa and Illinois. The company cites economic headwinds, declining sales, high interest rates, and the need to stay competitive. To remain a global leader, Deere says it must optimize costs, even if that means tough choices for American workers. The political backlash was immediate, with calls for tariffs and accusations of betrayal. For many, these changes feel like a crack in the foundation of a company woven into the nation's identity. The gears are shifting, not just in tractors but in the very structure of John Deere itself. The path forward is uncertain as an American icon faces a new era. Tariffs are more than just a political buzzword. They're a real cost for global manufacturers like John Deere. Deere relies on a global supply chain, sourcing materials from around the world. When tariffs hit steel, aluminum or parts, costs rise, sometimes by hundreds of millions. Deere must absorb these costs, pass them to customers or cut elsewhere, sometimes moving production. A proposed 100% tariff on Mexican-made equipment could double prices, forcing tough choices for Deere and American farmers. A $300,000 tractor could suddenly cost $600,000, putting new equipment out of reach. Tariffs threaten not just profits, but innovation, slowing progress in American agriculture. For John Deere, the price of progress is shaped as much by politics as by steel. Behind the headlines, there's a profound human story unfolding. For every job cut, a family faces uncertainty. In towns like Moline, Illinois, John Deere is the bedrock of the local economy. Generations have earned a living here, supporting schools, businesses, and a stable community. When jobs disappear, the ripple effect is devastating. Skilled workers lose not just a paycheck, but an identity. The anxiety is real: how to pay the mortgage, how to start over. Local businesses feel the pinch, and the whole town suffers. Lawmakers scramble to respond, but solutions are often too late. It's the logic of corporate survival. Sometimes you have to amputate a limb to save the body. But for those cut off, the loss is personal and profound. The peril for these communities is real and immediate. For now, they grapple with the human toll, a promise broken and a future uncertain. American farmers are facing a perfect storm. Rising interest rates, volatile crop prices, and trade disputes are making it harder than ever to afford the equipment they need. Machinery is a farmer's biggest investment. But higher borrowing costs and falling crop prices are squeezing their margins. Many are forced to delay upgrades, holding on to old equipment longer. The used equipment market is booming, but even that's getting expensive. Older machines break down more often, risking lost harvests and higher repair bills. Farmers are at a crossroads, caught between the need to innovate and the inability to afford it. Deere's move to Mexico could help lower costs, but tariffs might push prices even higher. The future of American farming depends on whether these challenges can be overcome. Amidst headlines of cuts and outsourcing, John Deere is making a massive bet on its American future. The company is investing $20 billion into US operations, upgrading factories, building new facilities, and integrating advanced robotics and automation. The goal? Transform legacy plants into smart factories, keeping high-tech manufacturing rooted in America. New distribution centers aim to strengthen the supply chain and ensure reliability for farmers and dealers. But after layoffs and controversy, rebuilding trust with employees and communities is crucial. Deere's future depends on whether these investments deliver real results and restore faith in its American roots. The foundation for tomorrow must be built on trust today. Beyond the headlines about jobs and tariffs, a quieter challenge plagues John Deere and manufacturers worldwide: the fragility of the global supply chain. The global chip shortage left tractors nearly finished but idle, waiting for a single crucial component. Steel prices have been on a roller coaster, and shipping delays only add to the uncertainty. For farmers, these disruptions mean costly downtime during critical seasons. Deere is investing in regional distribution centers and holding more inventory to buffer against global shocks. They're also diversifying suppliers and bringing key production in-house for greater control. These strategies aim to make operations more resilient and less vulnerable to disruption. If Deere succeeds, it's a win for the company and for every farmer who depends on them. So, as we've seen tonight, John Deere stands at a pivotal moment in its long and storied history. The company is navigating a complex landscape, trying to balance immediate economic pressures with its ambitious plans for long-term growth and technological leadership. The decisions to cut jobs and move some production are painful and controversial, creating real hardship for American workers and their communities. At the same time, the company is making unprecedented investments in its US operations, betting billions on a future rooted in American innovation. This isn't a simple story of a company abandoning its roots. It's a case study in the immense pressures of globalization, technological disruption, and political volatility that are reshaping American industry. The path John Deere is forging is fraught with risk and uncertainty, but it's one they believe is necessary to ensure their survival and continued success for generations to come. The iconic green and yellow machines will continue to plow American fields, but the story of how they're made is becoming more complicated than ever before. Now we want to hear from you. Do you believe John Deere's massive investments in US factories are enough to secure its role as a leader in American agriculture? Or do the job cuts and moves to Mexico signal a deeper shift away from its commitment to American workers? How are these changes, from equipment prices to job availability, affecting your community? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the forces shaping our world, be sure to subscribe to Power and Policy. Thank you for joining the discussion. Or